Good evening and welcome. You're watching the 7 o'clock news on CNC3. I'm Ria Rambley.
I'm Ryan Bachu.
I'm Jovan Ravello with sport.
And I'm Jean-Marc Rampersad with your weather.
Let's tell you what's making the news tonight. 11-year-old student dies at hospital amid conflicting reports of abuse.
Elderly man jailed for gruesome murder of young wife whose body he left scattered across New York.
While the opposition calls for greater transparency over Tobago radar, one former national security minister says too much has already been said.
In sport, Cricket West Indies names an unchanged women's squad for 6-match series versus Australia.
Cloudy periods gave us some cooler conditions today. I'll let you know if it's expected to continue in tonight's weather report.
Conflicting reports tonight surrounding the death of an 11-year-old student of the Karani Hindu Primary School.
The child has been identified as Ariana Ramdial of Karani Village. She died at hospital this morning after being rushed there on Sunday. Secretary General of the Sanatan Dharma Mahasabha Vijay Maharaj claims that the child may have been subjected to abuse at home, a claim being challenged by relatives. Maharaj tells CNC3 News that police received a report of sexual abuse against the child a year ago. He adds that early information suggests the child had visible injuries prior to her death. However, a close family member has denied any claims of physical or sexual abuse and suggested that Ariana was a victim of bullying. She confirmed that an autopsy will be performed tomorrow. Maharaj said the organization's Board of Education was saddened by the child's death.
Initial indications suggest a body was bruised and battered. A police report was made previously of bruises and battered marks on this child. The Ministry of Education, its social workers, the TTPS, and other relevant agencies are presently doing an in-depth investigation.
Maharaj said support services are being arranged for students affected by the incident and noted that the school community has been left shaken by the development.
Karani Hindu School has over 500 children. Our children are deeply traumatized. The Ministry of Education has sent in social workers. At this point, ministerial workers, together with the Children's Advisory, will be visiting tomorrow.
The Education Ministry confirmed that an investigation into the incident has been launched. Meanwhile, a 75-year-old man has been charged with murdering his Trinidadian wife last year and placing her remains across several locations in New York.
According to U.S. reports, Rupchand Simbu killed 34-year-old Salisha Ali and then reported her missing last July. Ali was last seen alive by a relative during a FaceTime call on July 13th. The two met in 2023 when she lived in Trinidad. She moved back to Queens in 2024 to live with him, and they married that same year. Salisha's mother says while she is grateful that her remains were found and that someone has been arrested in relation to her death, they continue to grieve.
Although he charged, it's still not going to bring back my daughter. And I just want back my daughter. It's not going to bring back my daughter. So I don't really feel glad that they held him because he was out here since July.
Salisha's aunt, Bridget Sakia Maloney, said the discovery of her niece's remains gave the family some closure, noting that throughout the entire ordeal, they were firm in their faith.
Just knowing for a fact that they did find the rest of our bodies, because that's what we were praying for, we are ever grateful for that. So it's a sort of sign of relief, but it brings closure.
Earlier this afternoon, Queens District Attorney described Salisha's murder as a horrific crime, noting that the suspect went to extraordinary lengths to evade responsibility.
Melinda Katz added that her office will work to hold the suspect accountable.
Police are trying to identify a man who was struck and killed while crossing the Beetham Highway this morning. According to police, the driver of a Nissan Note was heading east along the highway around 7:45 a.m. when the vehicle collided with the man as he crossed the roadway. The man died on impact. Officers from the Besson Street Police Station, along with transit police, responded. They said he had no identification on him.
The opposition is calling for greater clarity on the future of the U.S.-installed radar system in Tobago after the defense minister said the government is working with the United States to find a replacement for the costly system. Minister Wayne Sturge made the comments during a television interview, stressing that the radar remains a valuable security tool, but said contrary to some reports, the radar cannot work alone. Instead, it works alongside drones, satellites and other technologies to monitor activity in the country's airspace and waters. His comments revived questions about who pays for the radar. In February, the Prime Minister revealed it's costing the U.S. about $3 million every day. PNM Chairman and former National Security Minister Marvin Gonzalez says the public deserves clarity on this matter.
We are not asking the minister to disclose intelligence information. We are not asking the minister to disclose operational things that undermine national security. We are asking basic information. And as we continue to ask for clarity, as we continue to ask for transparency, they continue, especially the Minister of Defense and National Security or Homeland Security, they continue to invoke national security in order to skirt and or avoid being accountable to the public.
And should not be questioned.
However, former National Security Minister Gary Griffith is throwing his weight behind the government's push for advanced surveillance technology. But Griffith, who is also a former top cop, believes the defense minister has already revealed too much.
I think it is important for the government to state what is being spent from the taxpayers of Trinidad and Tobago, but they do not have to give the details of the value of the item. And that is where you have to be very careful.
CNC3 News contacted the Prime Minister for comment on the radar's future and who is funding the system, but she referred all questions to the Defense Minister, who did not respond.
The U.S. Embassy also did not answer direct questions about whether Washington is paying for the radar.
However, an embassy spokesperson said, quote, the radar system is part of ongoing bilateral cooperation to enhance maritime domain awareness and support efforts to combat illicit trafficking, including narcotics and firearms in Trinidad and Tobago and the Southern Caribbean.
Meanwhile, the Chief of Defense Staff said the issue had already been sufficiently addressed during the Defense Minister's recent television interview. We're still to come in the news. Elderly man survives brutal attack from 2 pit bulls.
Judge gives DPP deadline to decide if state will continue prosecution of police officers accused of 2014 robbery.
Coming up in sport, National Association of Athletics Administration President pleased with the size and quality of Carifta-bound team TTO. In the ever-changing media landscape, we at Guardian Media strive always to put you, our viewers and readers, first.
We strive to uphold the time-honored tenets of responsible journalism.
For us, accuracy is key.
And in our reporting, we strive not only to be first, but fair,
impartial,
and to uphold journalistic integrity.
Above all, we are accountable to you, and we must respect the views of our audience. That is our solemn contract with you.
Keen attention to detail.
Rigorous verification of facts.
Use of credible sources and sound editorial judgment.
Keep track of our editorial policies and guidelines, including our corrections policy, by logging on to www.guardian.co.tt for more. Welcome back. Authorities are raising concerns about an apparent outbreak of chickenpox at the maximum security prison.
Secretary General of the Prison Officers Association, Lester Logie, says the outbreak means both remanded and convicted inmates will now have to share even tighter spaces. And while the maximum security prison is not a designated detention center, inmates there may have to be transferred to other facilities. Logie says this comes at a time when the Port of Spain prison is already being relocated after it was condemned, adding more pressure to the system.
That's a major challenge. It means that however they spread them out amongst those facilities will be a challenge. It means that ECRC might be overcrowded. Probably done max out already.
Logie adds that unlike the previous state of emergency, no inmates were transferred from the prisons to detention centers.
He says while all inmates and detainees are in the same facilities, they are kept apart. Crime continues to weigh heavily on businesses in San Fernando, even under the current state of emergency. Along High Street, shop owners and workers say daylight robberies and chain snatchings remain a serious concern.
The Greater San Fernando Area Chamber of Commerce is now calling for stronger security measures, including more support from the Defense Force. Ivan Tulsi and Kevin Felming visited the area for this story.
While businesses along High Street continue to operate as usual, some operators say crime remains a concern in the busy commercial district. They point to recent incidents including a robbery and chain snatching and say criminals seem undeterred even as the country is in a state of emergency. The concerns were echoed by the Greater San Fernando Area Chamber of Commerce. Its president, Kiran Singh, says daylight robberies have been reported in the downtown area in recent days.
It is frightening that we are in a state of emergency and these guys have no apparent care or concern or fear of the law that under a state of emergency, the rights of them can be taken away without notice, without regard, and they seem to be taking these brazen chances. And they are using guns, arms and ammunition to commit these robberies.
Singh says while police are seen in the area, he believes additional support from the Defense Force could help strengthen security in the city.
They have more assets in terms of vehicles. We always hear about the police do not have enough vehicles to patrol and so on. So let's use the assets of the army to assist the police in their daily duties so we don't hear about, the police can't be on every corner.
Along High Street itself, some workers say they have witnessed incidents that suggest criminals are still operating in the area. Security officer Nazim Ishmael says he recalls a recent robbery occurring in one of the busiest parts of the city.
Not too long ago, right on High Street, busy place, taxi drivers, stores, everything like that, a robbery. Right? No police presence. But at a certain point in time, you'll see police come out, issue ticket, direct traffic, and whatever the case may be. But the problem mentioned right now is a crime.
Others say police patrols are visible throughout the day, but believe officers should focus more on peak shopping hours when the streets are the busiest.
They should be around more the busy hours. I feel like there's only come out in the night and the evening, and lunchtime is be the busy hour. A lot of things will happen in Havana.
However, not everyone agrees crime remains a major concern in the area. President of the San Fernando Business Association, Daphne Bartlett, says she has seen increased police activity and believes the state of emergency has improved security.
We haven't had any robberies that I know about. We haven't had any snatch and run. And the kind of splurge we had in recent years with people leaving the banks and somebody would grab the envelope or whatever and run and this and that, I haven't heard anything like that for about 6 months.
A senior police officer in the Southern Division says multiple police units are conducting foot and mobile patrols in downtown San Fernando. The officer also rejected claims that officers are focused only on traffic enforcement, saying any officer on patrol must respond to criminal activity. Police data, the officer said, also shows a decline in crime across the division in recent months, with Defense Force personnel available to assist if needed. Kevin Feldman, CNC3 News.
Well, tomorrow, government will take a motion to Parliament to extend the state of emergency for another 3 months.
It's been just over a week since the SOE came into effect, and today we asked, do you think it's making a difference in the fight against crime?
Here's what some of you had to say.
It's not effective to me because it don't bother me. I just go wherever I want to go. I go safe and come back safe.
I think that SOEs are effective for certain areas of Trinidad, and we can only hope that Trinidad will get better for all that is happening.
Yeah, I think so. I see more police on the streets and it's a lot safer nowadays, I feel like.
No, I don't think it's effective. I think they need to find other ways to curb crime rather than just having an SOE.
So when the curfew was installed with the SOE, I found it was a lot safer. Everybody returning home safe. They had to worry about if my loved one coming home now, if they going to end up on the news in a body bag. Really. So if they do over a curfew with the SOE, you would find probably criminal. Everybody will get home safely.
To me, the current terrorism, that's just a play game with everything. Because just like Roger Alexander, that thing implement, it didn't really make no sense. You understand? They're just taking things from the PNM and revising it over in many things. But that SOE is just a waste of time.
Residents of Hill Peace in Philippines say they are living in fear after two pit bulls mauled an elderly man last week. 78-year-old Ramraj Dekanti was attacked while walking along Philippine Road last Friday evening. He says the dogs rushed out of a neighbor's yard, knocked him to the ground and repeatedly bit him as he tried to protect his throat. Dekanti was taken to the San Fernando General Hospital, where doctors inserted more than 50 stitches in his hands and arms. He says he is now unable to use his hands and is struggling with daily tasks. Yet he has received no help from the dog owners.
My God, I have a lot of pain in the two hands. I can't even use the two hands. I can't even drive. I can't even cook. I can't do nothing. You know? Look, there's my niece there, and I'm my nephew right there. You know, they now get message and they come to see me, to see. They might give me a little help to do a little something in the house. I can't do nothing. I can't even make breakfast. I can't boil a cup of water. Sir.
Another resident, Alexis Lakatu, says the dogs have attacked people in the community in the past and are often seen roaming freely.
The dog is a dog where the people know that it attacks a lot of people, right? But the day it attacked me, and I was walking and he come out the gate, that is all. And some fellas alert me, and as they alert me, I had to fend for myself. It's a good thing I didn't close this door yet. You know, I was outside. But I just eased and I had this sick and I hit him. I was sick, so that pit bull, or what they call it.
CNC3 News visited the dog owner's home, but no one was at home at the time. Residents say a police report has been filed and are urging authorities to act before someone else is hurt. Under the law, failing to license and insure a Class 1 dog such as a pit bull carries a $50,000 fine, while causing injury through negligence can result in a $100,000 fine and up to 5 years in prison. Justice Frank C. Prasad has given Director of Public Prosecutions Roger Gaspard 35 days to decide whether to continue prosecuting Sergeant Lester Garcia and Police Constable Dexter Edwards, accused of robbing a Chinese couple in Aruca in 2014.
The officers were committed to stand trial in 2020, but Gaspard delayed filing indictments, a step required for the case to proceed before a High Court judge. C. Prasad rules the delay was unreasonable, rejecting Gaspard's claims of administrative constraints and criticizing him for failing to evaluate the case while citing generic issues. He questioned why an in-depth review of the evidence had not begun during the preliminary inquiry. The charges against the officers involve misbehavior in public office and the theft of a large sum of cash.
Despite several international airlines raising fares due to spiking oil prices, Caribbean Airlines Chair Reina Caulessa says the state-owned airline is not implementing an additional fuel charge. Caulessa tells CNC3 News the airline is monitoring developments in the global fuel market and conducts ongoing assessments of its strategies toward its fuel management policies. She adds that the carrier is committed to maintaining reliable service at competitive fares to its customers. Oil prices surged past $100 per barrel again today. The U.S. and Israel's war with Iran continues to have an impact on global fuel supplies. A travel industry analyst says some airlines are raising fares and fuel surcharges because they cannot absorb all of the increased costs.
Qantas, Air New Zealand, and several other airlines, including SAS, Scandinavian, have all raised either their base fares or their fuel surcharges. U.S. airlines have increased their fares. Airlines pretty much everywhere in the world are increasing their fares or fuel surcharges or both to account for the higher cost of jet fuel. Jet fuel is now costing airlines more than 50% more than it was before the fighting began. And they can't absorb that fuel increase entirely on their own.
Oil prices remain high even after 32 of the world's biggest economies, including the United States, agreed to release 400 million barrels of oil into the global market.
It's the largest emergency release ever, but prices are still hovering between $90 and $100 a barrel. Experts warn that if those prices hold, they could push inflation higher and slow economic growth in major economies. National Flour Mills has reduced the price of several national feed products, a move industry groups say could eventually benefit consumers.
Meanwhile, a global technology firm, SAS banks, insurers and governments in the region are increasingly adopting artificial intelligence-driven automation. Andrea Perez-Sobers tells us why in tonight's Business Watch.
Select livestock and poultry feed from National Flour Mills Limited is now cheaper. The state-owned company announced that effective March 6th, the list price on several National Feeds products has been reduced by about $10 per bag. Agricultural Society President Daryl Rampasad says the roughly 4% reduction will ease pressure on farmers.
Well, since that we are happy to see that there's a 4% decrease, it is still significantly more than what we would have been paying, let's say, 3 to 4 years ago. But we can anticipate that it's going to be welcomed by the growers, livestock and poultry farmers, and we hope to see that, we can balance the market.
Meanwhile, the Broiler Growers Association President Sudesh Ramkisoon outlines that the lower feed prices could encourage farmers to expand output at a time when the industry is trying to increase local supply.
We need it. The initiative as well with the Ministry of Agriculture trying to plant corn to help reduce the cost of feed. Hopefully, if that initiative brings a supply, that it will help reduce the supply and reduce the cost of feed.
Among the items that are reduced are the National Broiler Starter and Finisher 45 kilogram feed, now priced at $240 and $233 respectively. NewGen Software has operated in the region for nearly 2 decades, providing workflow automation and digital platforms to banks, insurance companies, and governments. Head of NewGen Caribbean Business, Sandeep Hinduja, told Business Watch the platform is now transitioning towards an AI-first model, with customers gradually moving from pilot projects into full-scale production deployments.
I think there is still a lot of ground to be covered in terms of what customers will do with this technology in the next few years. So, answer to your question, it's growing, and we see the next few quarters is where we will see real scaling of the technology into production use.
One of the regional companies working with the platform is Sagicor Group, which has implemented digital systems designed to streamline lending and insurance processes. And now for a look at today's energy and foreign exchange prices. Andrea Perez-Sobers, CNC3 Business Watch.
Still to come in the news tonight. 10 years on, former steel workers continue the fight for their separation package.
We had initially sunny conditions today with cloudy periods developing as the morning progressed, with a few afternoon showers as well. We also had some mild Saharan dust today. I'll let you know if it's expected to remain over us coming up just after the break.
Introducing the new Sun Mix Nut Bar. Available in 3 delicious flavors: granola raisin nut, almond cranberry crunch, and coconut almond crisp. All packed on a rich bed of dark chocolate.
Taste the good life, snack right. Taste the good life anytime. Good life. Sun Mix.
Sunshine Snacks Sun Mix Nut Bar. Taste the good life.
My man Andre.
Good night, Anthony.
7 years with the company, and we couldn't do it without Antoine.
Happy birthday, dear Alejandro. Happy birthday to you.
Who's Angelo?
We're like coworkers who don't forget your name.
I'm Angelo.
CG United. Good like that.
Eid Mubarak from Passad's The Food King. Joyful savings for every home this Eid on Ibis all-purpose flour, 5 kilograms, $29.99. Central Farm Halal duck, £4.99. Halal bone goat, £3.99. Dutch potatoes, £5, $10. Halal mince beef, £4.95. Chana large grain, 2,000 grams, $39.99. Split peas dal, 400 grams, 3 packs for $9.99. Regal seedless dates, 200 grams, $14.99. Fresh harvest sweetened condensed milk, 390 grams, 3 tins for $25. Nestle Carnation evaporated milk, 250 ml, 2 packs, 15. Shake vermicelli wine, 200 grams, 4 packs, $19.99. Flavorite ice cream, 3.2 liters, 2 tubs, $99. Chubby soft drink, 2 cases, $77. Eid Mubarak from Passad's The Food King. Sale ends 22nd March 2026 or while stocks last.
Quality value, that's our way. The real Bushsides, we're here to stay. The Food King Bushsides.
You know, in the past, everyone was treated in a particular way.
Yep.
You have breast cancer, remove the breast, and then go for chemo.
Correct.
You know, and that's not the standard now. Each patient may not need to remove the breast. They may be able to preserve the breast. Some patients may need hormone therapy, some may not. Some may need some additional treatments like chemotherapy or targeted therapy. How would you feel as a woman when someone calls and said the doctor wants to speak to you about your results? Does that lead or triggers a response in you of anxiety?
Former Minority Leader Calvin Morris has officially entered the race for political leader of the PNM Tobago Council. Morris announced his candidacy during a Facebook Live today, 1 week after former Tobago West MP Shamfa Cudjoe declared her intention to contest the same post in the April 19th internal elections. Morris said his experience as the lone PNM assemblyman in the last Tobago House of Assembly has prepared him for leadership. He said his decision to seek the post followed consultations with party members and supporters across the island. He described the PNM, which lost the last THA elections, as being a pivotal moment in its history.
Over the past term, the circumstances demanded leadership, and I answered that call. Even when the road was difficult and even when the odds were not in our favor, I stood strong, standing for accountability, standing for our party, and standing for the people of Tobago.
Morris said the party's best days are ahead and called for teamwork, honest dialogue, and reconnecting with the people. Meanwhile, outgoing leader Ansel Dennis has declined to say whether he would support Morris or Cudjoe. However, he implored the candidates to conduct a clean election. Dennis also re-elected on his tenure, saying he did not always have the support of key figures within the party, but believes he did his best for both the PNM and the people of Tobago. The PNM Tobago Council is searching for its fourth leader in just 6 years.
Well, yesterday marked 10 years since the closure of the ArcelorMittal Point Lisas plant. But for former workers, the pain of losing their jobs is still fresh.
Last night, the former steel workers gathered outside the facility for a candlelight vigil, renewing their calls for justice. President of the Steelworkers Union, Timothy Bailey, told supporters the anniversary is a painful reminder of what he called the unjust termination of hundreds of employees when the company shut down in 2016. Bailey said workers were sent home without separation benefits, despite years of service under tough industrial conditions. He appealed directly to the Labour Minister and other ministers with trade union backgrounds to use their influence to finally address the matter.
So we are calling on the authorities marking this 10-year anniversary to do the necessary, something that the previous regime failed to recognize.
The ArcelorMittal steel plant at the Point Lisas Industrial Estate was officially closed in March 2016 after the multinational steel giant filed for bankruptcy protection for its Trinidad operations.
CNC3 News awaits a response from the Labour Minister, Leroy Batiste.
It's now time for the weather forecast with Jean-Marc, and I feel like you said there's going to be some rain at the end of this week, and I anticipated so much more. Maybe because I'm hoping it targets those bushfires.
Exactly, but I also did say that we will get the cloudy periods, a few showers, but nothing significant, and the bushfires have continued, unfortunately. So let's take a look at the satellite. The cloudy periods today had some showers and cloudiness originating over South America, which moved over us during the course of the day, and it didn't really give us that significant rainfall, but at least some areas were a bit cooler with the extra shade. Now, conditions aren't as windy as the beginning of the week, but they should still return. Early next week. That's the windy conditions. And usually ahead of that, we should get some rainfall as well, and that's due to this band here that we can see on the satellite. That's expected to move in on Sunday. And with the lack of significant rainfall, the bushfires continue. Here's some footage from the Uriah Butler Highway early this afternoon, where both the northbound and southbound lanes were obscured by thick smoke. But in this instance, motorists handled it very well, slowing down, maintaining their respective lanes, and proceeding through the smoke with caution and with their windows up. So now for the forecast for tonight, we can expect partly cloudy conditions to continue with the low chance of the odd shower. Overnight lows of 22 in Trinidad and 24 in Tobago. Tomorrow, we can expect similar conditions like today with a few cloudy periods. Showers are likely to favor western areas of Trinidad and during the afternoon. Winds have also gradually decreased over the past few days, and it is expected to be breezy at times, but the chance of gusts has decreased significantly. Now, seas are currently moderate and improving, with waves in open waters around 2 meters and less than 1 meter in sheltered areas. Winds are out of the east at around 15 knots. Now, the windy conditions are expected to increase once again early next week, and that may cause the seas to deteriorate, so there is a possibility of seeing another alert being issued by the Met Office for that period. Looking ahead, isolated showers tomorrow and into the weekend. Sunday may have some more cloudiness and showers, and that's ahead of the increase in winds on Monday and Tuesday, when we'll have breezy conditions with some isolated showers. And also don't forget the possibility of the gusty winds on Monday and Tuesday when those conditions return. High temperatures are expected to maintain at 31 to 32 degrees Celsius and lows around 22 to 23. Now, looking at some long-term forecasts, the Climate Prediction Center in the United States published their ENSO forecast today, and that speaks about ocean temperatures in the Pacific Ocean. Now, changes here have an impact on global weather, and conditions are expected to transition to an El Niño phase, which is indicated by the orange bars on the graph, and that may mean less tropical cyclone activity later on this year for us. Official forecasts for the hurricane season will gradually be released over the next few months. So hopefully some good news in the making.
Yeah, we keep our fingers crossed, Jean-Marc. All right, thank you so much. We're still to come in the news.
Be thankful you're still alive. And I know that's not advice they would want to hear, because I didn't want to hear that.
As the world recognizes World Kidney Day, we share the story of 2 kidney patients who were given a second chance at life.
Ramadan specials at Food Basket, Arima, Shagwana, Champlain, and Gulf View. Goat, 4 pounds for $99. Chana, 5 pounds for $19.95. Delicious dates, $19.95 per pound. Big deal, 1 gallon oil, $59.95. Crown 8 kg rice, $59.95. Green butterfly evaporated milk, 3 for $17.95. 4Z vermicelli, 1600 gram, $24.95. Ramadan specials at Food Basket, Arima, Shagwana, Champlain, and Gulf View.
Get a free pair of polarized sunglasses with the purchase of new Gen S Transitions lenses with anti-reflective coating and frames. Selected designer frames now just $4.99 with additional promotions. Hurry, limited time only at Seaview Optical.
Your immune system is your first line of defense. Discover BioStrath Immune Health. BioStrath Immune Health is enriched with zinc, ensuring that your body stays resilient. BioStrath Immune Health. Get what you need naturally.
You can make your goals unfold, go get it. You can live your dream, join the team, let's do this. You can get the help you need to succeed with Run Credit Union. You can believe that you can achieve big goals, small ones too. Run Credit Union, we've got you. No more waiting, that won't do. Make someday today. One life, so make it good. Live the way you know you should. With Run Credit Union, yes you could.
best life today with Rand Credit Union.
Are you preparing your home for Eid this year? Bright Ideas Home Store just launched the biggest Eid sale of the year, and the deals are unbelievable. Towels 4 for $100. Oscar electric kettles from only $75. Irons just $85. Coffee makers from $125. Sandwich makers only $99. Yes, Trinidad, these prices are real, and the savings keep going. Glassware 3 for $22.99. Premium glass set 6 for just $35. Cozy blankets 3 for $100. Hosting family for Eid, Bright Ideas has everything you need. Serveware for the table, beautiful bed sheets, stylish mats and carpets, wall mirrors, food containers, and so much more deals in store. So don't wait. Head to Bright Ideas Home Store today and get your home Eid ready for less. Bright Ideas Home Store. Every home, every season, every day. Bringing happiness home.
Well, today is World Kidney Day, and with kidney disease on the rise in TNT, we sat down with two patients who shared their stories.
What they had in common was more than kidney failure. It was resilience through difficult times and receiving a transplant from a loved one. Here's more from Liana Maharaj and Crystal James.
Each note he plays tells a story of strength, because life for 33-year-old Xavier Chung has been anything but certain as he battles kidney disease. At just 3 years old, Chung was diagnosed with vesicourethral reflux. The condition causes urine to flow backward from the bladder into the urethras and sometimes the kidneys. Over time, he underwent several procedures, but the condition kept returning. Then, around the age of 18, doctors delivered life-changing news. He had full kidney failure.
All you're thinking is, why me? And what did I do to deserve this?
For Chung, balancing school and his illness was far from easy.
But yeah, I would have experienced more dialysis than I care to experience.
Eventually, dialysis was not enough. He needed a kidney transplant. But finding a suitable donor was difficult, prompting his parents to make a public appeal for help. The plea ended up reaching someone unexpectedly close to home. His father's cousin had seen the newspaper article and immediately reached out. Alison Carrera John was confident she would be able to help as they had the same blood type and she maintained a healthy lifestyle. After a series of tests and checkups, Carrera John got the green light to become her nephew's donor. 15 years later, she says being able to help still feels special.
And yes, I do feel privileged. I feel it's more like a privilege that I was part of that process. Mm-hmm. You know, Xavi had to take the reins and just do the rest, and that's what he's been doing.
For kidney transplant patients, a 15-year-old transplanted kidney is considered quite an accomplishment. But Chung knows it also comes with uncertainty.
When doing the transplant, they usually told me that a live kidney transplant lasts between 10 and 15 years. So I'm at that point where the doctors would have said, you know, it lasts 15 years. However, it can go longer if you take care of it. So I do try to exercise, I do try to keep a healthy diet, I do try to manage stress as much as I can.
While 15 years is a feat, other patients have seen their transplanted kidneys last even longer. After being diagnosed with renal failure in 1999, Lorraine Ragbear's mother offered her a kidney. It was like getting a second chance from the woman who brought her into this world.
And I was very fortunate. My mother had no issue. She's like, well, if I'm the donor, let's do it, you know.
Her blessing felt short-lived, even though her transplanted kidney lasted nearly 2 decades.
So I remember when my kidney was failing, and the doctor said, you know, your kidney's failing. I said, no way, not now. He goes, Lorraine, 20 years is long. You had like 10 extra years. I'm like, oh God, but I still want some more, you know.
Now back on dialysis, Lorraine says while getting another transplant would be ideal, her case is a bit trickier, so she's taking it one day at a time.
And it's just a change in my lifestyle. There's certain things I can do, certain things I can't do on dialysis.
For Chung, the journey has taught him that living with kidney disease requires more than medical treatment, but it requires support. His advice to others facing the same struggle:
be thankful you're still alive. And I know that's not advice they would want to hear, because I didn't want to hear that. I'm alive and going through pain, you know. I guess the best advice would be to lean on the support that you have.
March 12th is World Kidney Day, and in Trinidad and Tobago, kidney disease is on the rise. For those living with kidney disease, the future depends on a donated organ and the kindness of someone willing to give a second chance at life. Liana Maharaj, CNC3 News.
Wow. Early detection, absolutely key in this regard.
Screening is very important.
Yes. It's now time for sport. Jovan, welcome back. The women's game is set for a boost. Tell us about it.
Yeah, that's right. Community outreach and empowerment are part of the package as women's cricket gets a new partner for the 2026 season. And we've got all the action from the Octagon from this weekend's Road for Glory in sport, coming up after this break.
Struggling with blood sugar swings, high blood pressure, or stiff joints? Take control with Aja Nutrition's powerful wellness trio. Berberine Plus supports healthy blood sugar. Blood pressure support helps keep your pressure in check. And Joint Aid keeps your joints moving so you can stay active every day. Don't wait. Choose Aja Nutrition for trusted, effective solutions. Available at Pennywise and leading pharmacies nationwide. Feel better, move better, live better with Aja Nutrition.
Welcome to Holiday Inn Express and Suites.
Do enjoy, Stacey. You want some coffee?
Can I have a bit?
Perfect then.
That's exactly what we need.
Hi, the pool is this way.
Whatever you're here for, we're here for you. Stay smart at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites.
Welcome back. It's time for sport. Cricket West Indies has named an unchanged women's team to face Australia in 3 T20s starting next week Thursday in St. Vincent, keeping faith in the squad that lost the recent 3-match T20 series against Sri Lanka 2-0. The Maroon Warriors will be led by Hayley Matthews with Chanel Henry as her deputy. Red Force Divas captain Krishma Ramarak is the lone Trinidad and Tobagonian in the team. West Indies and Australia will play T20s between the 19th and 23rd before 3 ODIs starting on March 27th. Now, KFC Trinidad and Tobago has delivered a major boost to women's cricket, announcing a $120,000 partnership with the Trinidad and Tobago Women's Cricket Association to support its 2026 competitions. The sponsorship will assist the Premiership and Championship divisions, which feature 14 clubs and more than 250 female athletes across the country, helping to strengthen the pathway for players aiming for national and regional selection. Officials say the partnership also goes beyond the field, with plans for community outreach and empowerment initiatives involving the athletes. Vice President for KFC and Pizza Hut at Prestige Holdings, Roger Rambarose, says the investment reflects the company's commitment to supporting women in sport.
And we have seen a bit of a falling off of performance in not only West Indies women's cricket, but also Trinidad women's cricket. So it's our responsibility as corporate citizens to continue to invest in a very important area that provide women and young girls the opportunity to build a career outside of your traditional professions.
Some good news there for the women's cricketers of Trinidad and Tobago. Now, Powergen and Victoria will meet in the final of the TTCB's Midweek 30 Overs tournament after contrasting wins over Best Motors Marching Patriots and Queen's Park, respectively. Ian Wilson tells us how they got there.
On day one, Powergen lost 2 early and valuable wickets, Daniel Williams and Mbeki Joseph. Both gone for ducks as Powergen was at 6 for 2 early in the innings after being sent into bat by Best Motors Marching Patriots. Cephas Cooper and club legend Jason Mohammed set out on a 35-run partnership before Mohammed was bowled by Ricky Jaipal for 14. Navin Bedesi then joined Cooper, and together they produced a 62-run partnership, raising 100 in the process. Both batters departed 7 runs apart, with Bedesi going for 37 with a score on 103 and Cooper on 49 with a score on 110. But a 55-run partnership between Dijon Charles, who made 30 not out, and Akil Cooper, who added 90 not out, allowed them to close on 165 for 5 from 23 overs. But with Evan Lewis in the Patriots lineup, there was a prospect that 165 may not have been enough. The dangerous left-hander was starting to get loose on Wednesday, smashing 2 sixes on the second day. But Sharon Lewis and Uthman Mohammed, who both got 2 wickets, combined to remove the West Indies white ball opener, 29 for 1. Lewis made 20. Tishon Castro joined Camille Puran, and together they added 36 before Castro departed at 65 for 2. That sparked a collapse Patriots could not recover from. They lost Christian Thurton and Camille Puran and were 87 for 4. And then at 92 this happened. Kevin St. Clair played what would have been a nice shot but was dismissed for obstructing the field, 92 for 5. It got worse after that as Patriots capitulated to 99 for 8. They were eventually bowled out for 111 in 18.4 overs as Powergen won by 54 runs. At Inchinali Park, Leonardo Julian scored an unbeaten 43 as Victoria beat Queen's Park by 4 wickets to set up the final with Powergen on March 22nd at a yet-to-be-determined venue. Ian Wason, CNC3 Sport.
Congrats and best of luck to both of them. Now, President of the National Athletics Association of Athletics Administrations, Ephraim Surratt, is tonight expressing satisfaction at the size and quality of this year's Carifta Games team heading to Grenada. On Monday, the N3As unveiled a team of 74 athletes, one of the country's largest ever. In addition to the 13 girls under 17, the boys under 17 team is made out of 21 athletes, including 4 returning stars from last year's team. Surratt said all athletes gave good accounts during the recent trials and other competitive meets.
Coming out of the trials, there were some exceptional performances. We've seen athletes really, although when standards were put out, there were some complaints that the standards too high. But I think, all in all, the coaches and the athletes, they prepared and they did come and, put on good performances.
The under-20 girls and boys contingents present TNT's strongest medal contenders, including several returning athletes and medalists. Anika Bailey, Cheyenne Lewis, Peyton Winter and Tanique Vincent lead the prospects among the girls, while Amani Dillon, Darius Harding, Isaiah Adler, Omari Brown and Tariq Vincent headlined the boys. But Surratt said he was most pleased by the number of athletes stepping up in unconventional events.
Like pole vault, is an event that a lot of athletes, have shunned away from in the past, and we've seen a resurgence where the interest is there, and maybe also the multi-events where we have the defending decathlon and heptathlon athlete, and we also have the octathlon. So the multi-events is also making a resurgence where the athletes are doing well.
Certainly several ones to watch in that squad. Now, the Trinidad and Tobago Mixed Martial Arts Federation, in collaboration with Rough and Tough Caribbean MMA, hosted Road to Glory over the weekend at the Woodbrook Youth Facility. Cassin Cupid has the highlights.
All eyes were fixed on the octagon as the action got going from the very first bout. Fight Club's Alyssa Adams in the red corner got the armbar win over Sophie Khan representing Hitfit, who tapped out in the first round. The juniors also got into a tangle. Kieran Firmin, also repping Fight Club, pulled out his rear naked choke, leaving CJ George Phillip no choice but to surrender. Alyssa Adams won the 3 ladies tournament when she got her second win of the night, defeating Kylie Sukram in similar fashion. Another armbar, another victory. It was time for the knockouts to come to the front. Matthew Granger wasn't letting up. The referee had to save Nathaniel Gill. Tevin Greenidge was on the receiving end of this onslaught from Orlando Charles. TKO was a ruling for Charles to get the victory. Tyler Sample of the USA was pounding away on Tyrone Charles, the ref taking evasive action to stop the bout. Charles needed medical attention after that. In the main event of the evening, TNT's Joshua James, fighting for Hitfit, took on Team USA Zach Krebs in the blue corner. Both fighters, very technically sound, were wrapped up for almost the entirety of the first round, looking for the opening in their opponent's guard to gain the upper hand. However, it was James who found that opportunity he was looking for, a lapse in concentration from the American, and he took full advantage. Some fierce combination from James. Krebs unable to continue. Victory for James, capping off a great night for the sport. Caston Cupid, CNC3 Sport.
Now, the longest-running tournament in the Americas region, the TNT Golf Open, will tee off its 118th edition at the St. Andrews Golf Course in Mocha on Friday. Here's a preview.
Since 1907, the TNT Open has been the most prestigious golf tournament in the country and arguably the Caribbean. In under 24 hours, another battle looms. From Brighton early on Thursday morning, the ladies' flight will set the tone as golfers hailing from all over the Caribbean and the US will battle the best from TNT. TTGA PRO Marsha Ray Laben said the association is expecting a highly competitive Open.
The energy is very high. Today there's the practice rounds. The Masters played their first round today, so the excitement is high. The sponsors are on board and everyone is excited.
Jamaica Golf Association President Judy Moon Barrow is the ladies' champion. She will be aiming to successfully defend her title. In the championship division, defending champion Chris Richards Jr. is favored to retain his title. He's in great form heading to his old stomping ground in Mocha.
He's coming hot off the course. He has just won back-to-back wins in the U.S., So he is hot on the trails, and we have the ladies champion, Jody Monbaro. She is from Jamaica. So those are the champions from last year. Victoria Sinat is our local champion, winning several tournaments in her class for the ladies in Trinidad.
Caston Cupid, CNC3 Sport.
First tee time is 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Now, it's becoming very possible that Iran will not participate in this year's FIFA World Cup. Caston Cupid has the details of this developing story and more in tonight's International Roundup.
United States President Donald Trump says he does not believe it is appropriate for the Iran national football team to participate in this summer's 2026 FIFA World Cup, citing concerns for the team's safety. Trump made the comments in a post on Truth Social after meeting with FIFA President Gianni Infantino. While he reiterated that Iran would still be welcome at the tournament, Trump suggested it might be best for the team to stay away for their life and safety. The remarks come amid rising tensions in the Middle East after the United States and Israel launched airstrikes on Iran on February 28th, sparking retaliatory attacks across the region. Iran's Sports Minister Ahmad Danyamali has already indicated that the country may not participate. Speaking on state television, he said that following the killing of Iran's leader and the ongoing conflict, there are no conditions that would allow the national team to compete at the tournament. The World Cup is set to be hosted across the United States, Canada and Mexico beginning in June, and Iran was drawn in Group G, which will be played in California, Seattle and Vancouver. In NBA action, the Denver Nuggets hammered the Houston Rockets 129-93. Jamal Murray led all scorers with 30 points, while Nikola Jokic finished with a triple-double of 16 points, 12 rebounds and 13 assists. Meanwhile, the New York Knicks defeated the Utah Jazz 134-117 with 28 points from Jalen Brunson and 22 from OG Anunoby. Caston Cupid, CNC3 Sport.
Now in tonight's high, Donovan gets Cavalier. Enjoy.
The Cavs' Donovan Mitchell was in ankle-breaking mood last night. He dropped Noah Pendia, making him touch the earth while he drilled the three. Yes, Noah went so far back, he probably found his arc. So Donovan Mitchell, a.k.a. Spider, for that nasty work, you earn tonight's CNC3 Sport Eye.
And it's on that note we end tonight's Sportcast.
Thank you so much. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Ramadan specials at Food Basket, Arima, Shagwana, Champlain and Gulf View. Goat, 4 pounds for $99. Chana, 5 pounds for $19.95. Delicious dates, $19.95 per pound. Big deal, 1 gallon oil, $59.95. Crown 8 kg rice, $59.95. Green butterfly evaporated milk, 3 for $17.95. 4Z vermicelli, 1600 gram, $24.95. Ramadan specials at Food Basket, Arima, Shagwana, Champlain and Gulf View.
Dress like you mean business. At The Working Woman, we bring you stylish, professional looks made for the modern woman. From casual to formal workwear, we've got your professional wardrobe covered.
Alejandro,
still alive. Mr. Alejandro! Mrs. Lucia! Mrs. Lucia, come quick, Mr.
Alejandro! My goodness! You're so... Sophia!
Don't miss the gripping drama Cabo. Sundays at 8 p.m. only on CNC3.
I'm so dizzy. I think I'm gonna be sick.
Oh. Caleb, are you okay? Oh my God, are you all right?
I need help! Cal!
Jackson? Hey, what's wrong?
It's Caleb. He's like really...
Where is he now?
It's not far. Come on, I'll show you.
Lead the way.
Be sure to catch Sullivan's Crossing. Wednesdays at 8 p.m. only on CNC3.
Parents will do it though. Go to work, have a day, bro. And come on and take that stress out on you.
Welcome to another episode of Manhood.
Everybody will do what they need to do to get what they want.
And if they can't fit in to the norms, then what they have to do? They're surviving.
Not everybody wants to kill me because I might be all kind of thing, but I think I'm a good person.
The aspect of a mentor seeing something in you that you can't see in yourself.
Check yourself, because you shaped that generation.
Are we losing in many ways the values?
Since I have this Parkinson's diagnosis, there's a group, a very small group, type group, who will always look after me.
Regional climate change expert Unime Gordon says she wants to see clear agreement on the way forward in the bid to phase out fossil fuels as a major conference looms in Colombia next month. However, ahead of the first conference on transitioning away from fossil fuels in Santa Marta, Gordon warned the region against setting its sights too high. The Jamaican says they will be looking for progress in Colombia, but that does not necessarily mean coming away with a fossil fuel treaty.
We're hoping that there are clear and definitive agreement, not just statements, but agreement of how this transition will take place. And I like to say this is speaking to both producers and recipient countries. We're not talking about phasing out, stopping production. This is not what Santa Marta is about. We are talking about an orderly transition. We are talking about looking at financing to support countries.
Well, as turtle nesting season returns, authorities are reminding offenders they can face fines of up to $100,000 and 2 years in jail for breaches of the Conservation of Wildlife Act.
From March 1st to August 31st, Trinidad and Tobago's beaches become home to 5 protected species, including leatherbacks, green turtles, and hawksbills. And the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries is reminding everyone to keep nesting sites safe. That means no biking, driving, or mining sand on the beach, and no bright lights, fires, or flambeaux that can confuse turtles or hatchlings. Even sitting on a turtle can cause fatal injuries. The ministry is urging the public to report any harm to turtles, eggs, or hatchlings to the Forestry Division, EMA, or the police. Well, on Monday, offshore workers got a rare treat just off Trinidad's east coast. A humpback whale was spotted playing in the water. The giant mammal was captured by the workers on video. Marine mammal specialist Siam Nath says it is possible that the humpback whale was calling other whales. He notes that the sighting is significant because this species of humpback whale is rarely seen in the region. He recalls only 4 sightings of this species. Nath believes while sightings were once common, they've become far less frequent due to increased human activity.
Such a rare, wonderful sight. I'm sure that they would have definitely taken that in.
Yeah, we spoke to a lot of marine personnel today, and that pectoral slap where they slap the water could mean many things. It could mean that they're interacting with the humans or calling other whales, or even cleaning themselves, getting some parasites off of their fins.
Or maybe it could be goodbye, just the way that we say goodbye for tonight's newscast. Thanks for that information, Jean-Marc. Well, that's how we end the 7 p.m. news. Thanks for watching. I'm Ria Rambali.
I'm Ryan Beachu.
I'm Jovan Ravello.
And I'm Jean-Marc Rampersad. Have a good night.